I know a lot of you that have subscribed to this channel found your way here from some of the guides and tips for entry to mid-level CompTIA IT certifications, and I'm pretty sure you know the first step 90% of the time is help desk, but you're not trying to stay in help desk for the rest of your life. So today we're going to review some of the lucrative careers that can be open to you after you're ready to move to the next step, with CompTIA A+ or similar certifications being your foundation and adding some more skills and certifications along the way. Let's begin. So let's get us started with something fairly obvious, is team lead for service desk. Now, I just said that you don't want to stay in help desk for the rest of your life, but if you're making $100,000 a year as a team lead, you might want to consider staying there for quite a while because it's pretty cushy. This is secret clearance required though, which I do want to mention that a lot of the IT industry jobs do require some kind of clearance. That's why Security Plus is such a big thing. It's actually bigger than Network Plus, and by a pretty significant margin, if I'm going to be completely honest. The next up is Linux Plus, which are the ones that I recommend. A+, Linux Plus, Security Plus. Unless you want to get specifically into networking, then that's a different story. But yeah, not a bad salary for a team lead, service desk team lead. I always just ignore all of these because it's noise, in my opinion. But yeah, you can learn all of this stuff. You learn this stuff in help desk. A lot of these things, like ServiceNow, you're going to be using that in help desk. Intune, MDM, a lot of the help desk positions, you're going to be learning this stuff. 5 years. This is not always this is like what they're hoping for is 5 years of IT services. And also if it says bachelor's, a lot of times they're just hoping that you have a bachelor's. A lot of the stuff in IT, they don't require you to have a specific degree. Experience is more important than a degree. I know a lot of people that don't have degrees. I know some people that don't even have A+ and they work in this same position actually, and they don't have an A+, they don't have a Net Plus, they don't have a Sec Plus, they don't have any of that stuff. But yeah, desired certifications, CompTIA A+, Net Plus, ITIL. This is actually not a very hard one to get. I think this is a little bit older because this is not as relevant in the industry as it used to be, but it used to be much more important. But yeah, if you're good at leading a team, this might be a great opportunity for you. Next up, we have a senior network consultant at $85,000 to $110,000 a year. And again, these are not going to be things that you just get the A+ and then you're like, okay, I'm ready for a senior network consultant role, $85,000 to $110,000 with no previous work experience. This is something that you're going to be working help desk, working desktop support, getting there eventually, but it really is not going to take as long as you think, especially with this senior title in front of there. They throw this word around in job titles more often than you'd think. You get promoted to a senior role faster than you think you will. I have seen people that really should not have this next to their job titles, and they have it regardless, and they make extra money just by having this. They go to another company. They were senior at one company, they move to another company, and they make $30,000 extra a year just by having that word. And it really does not take as long as you think this is. So senior network consultant, and this one's probably going to require not necessarily require, but this one might like that you have a Network Plus. We will see in a second. Again, this is all noise. They just add these things to make it seem more lucrative than it actually is, although this is kind of lucrative anyway. Responsibilities here. There's some that require you to be more of a presentable leader, team manager. Again, management. That's going to really, if you build management skills throughout your course of working in the industry, that's going to benefit you a lot. Project implementation, not anything too crazy. Required experiences. Position requires proficiency in the following skills: project management, Microsoft 365, like open an email account and tinker around with it. It's really not that hard. Virtualization, which if you're in IT, you're going to be exposed to virtualization regardless. Network configuration and management, like a lot of these things, like if you're working help desk, if you're working desktop support, you're going to be exposed to these things anyway. All of these things, Active Directory, you're going to be exposed to that. Mobile device management, All of these things are going to be things that you're just exposed to naturally in the entry-level help desk and desktop support positions. So, education and certifications preferred, not required. Again, someone that actually posts honestly, not that you need these, 2 to 4 year bachelor degree in computer science, information systems, or other related disciplines. They still prefer experience over degrees. Almost everywhere prefers experience over degrees. So if you have experience doing help desk and you have some Active Directory or systems and security, like if you have this from working at help desk, then they don't care as much about this. CompTIA A+, Network Plus, Security Plus, Microsoft VMware. Some of these virtualization certifications cost a lot of money though, so don't get too hung up on that. The Microsoft ones are some of them are pretty cheap. But if you have some of this stuff on your resume, it's going to get you an interview. Next, we have System Support Engineer 2 with a secret clearance required. So a few things about the secret clearance is, number one, not all companies require you to already have a secret clearance. Sometimes they will sponsor you if they feel that you are the right candidate for the position and they like you enough and you interview well. Some of them do require you to already have a clearance because they don't want to sponsor it when you come in. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the job descriptions, that there are two different kinds. Also, there are many different kinds of secret clearances. Anytime you see a job with a secret clearance, it's going to pay significantly better than one without the clearance, though, because there's going to be less people that can even get that job. So you're going to also have to fight against less people to get the job in the first place. So keep that in mind. That could be something really to your advantage when you're applying for a job. That's why a lot of military personnel wind up going into IT, because they have those clearances and it benefits them tremendously in the long run. So we have $80,000 to $90,000 a year. System support engineer, active secret clearance to join our growing team, etc., etc. Primer position tasks: supporting, managing, imaging OS products and devices, Windows, Office 365, Mac experience preferred, mobile device management experience, administration, Active Directory, Windows and Mac OS, remote desktop services, which a lot of these things you're learning in help desk positions. So, ticketing system, service now, you're definitely learning that in help desk. Core network components and troubleshooting, iPhone troubleshooting. Yeah, you're learning a lot of this stuff throughout your time doing a help desk or desktop support role. And then you could just fill in the gaps of what you're missing here and be in a really good spot. As long as, this one specifically has a secret clearance. But minimum education, certification experience requirements, minimum 3 years of IT with IT administration support experience, Windows administration, Active Directory, previous experience at a fast-paced consulting or managed service provider environment is a plus, and then desired certifications: CompTIA A+, Network Plus, ITIL V3, V4. Not the hardest job to get. The biggest thing here is the clearance, but as long as you can get that clearance, I mean, it's not the easiest thing, but if you can manage that, the rest of it is a cakewalk, and you're in for $80,000 to $90,000 a year. Data center technician, CTJ Poly at Microsoft. So this is $31.49 to $54.76 an hour. So that's about $60,000 to $100,000 a year. It's a wide range. Microsoft data center technician, though, which is always nice to have Microsoft on your resume. And then we can go see all of the things involved in that and what qualifications you need. High school diploma. It's so challenging. GED or equivalent. Basic knowledge of computer hardware and components, and 2+ years experience supporting IT equipment or related technology. Not that hard. Really not that hard. Security clearance requirements over here. And then citizenship verification, associate's degree in computer science or other field, and or equivalent work experience. Again, this is preferred, and also equivalent work experience. So you don't need an associate's degree. Associate's degree is a 2-year degree anyway. Supporting IT equipment, which is just help desk. As long as you're okay with help desk, then you should be good to go here. CompTIA A plus, server network plus, the core 3. And then there's a couple other ones on top of that, but it's not bad. Here we have a computer support technician for $36.50 an hour to $45.32 an hour, which is about $70,000 to $90,000 a year. So we have Lawrence Livermore National Library. And then this is installing new computer system hardware and upgrades, installing and configuring printers and other peripherals. Very challenging, guys. Very, very challenging. Configuring operating systems, computer security applications, software, secure computer systems, and monitor to ensure that they're in compliance with DOE mandated orders. Really not the most challenging job in the world, but still, a lot of people would consider this a nice opportunity. A lot of people wouldn't mind making $70,000 to $90,000 a year doing something like this. Qualifications: we desire professional computer certification, MCSA, MCSE, CompTIA A+, and then experience with securing computer systems, etc., etc. So Sec Plus would be very beneficial to have here. Would put you ahead of the pack and get you probably an interview where other people might not get an interview. So that's not a bad one to have there. Here we have an IT specialist position in Washington for around $80,000 a year, which is pretty nice. Essential duties and responsibilities: troubleshoot, resolve issues from laptops and mobile phones, user account management. This is a lot of stuff that, again, you're going to be doing with help desk. So that's why help desk is a great foundation for all of these IT jobs, or most of them anyway. Manage cloud-based email, onboarding new users, backup system support, incidents response, and ticketing. Again, ticketing, security, and compliance. Don't get too scared from this. A lot of it is mostly just paperwork and making sure all of the paperwork is actually correct and double checking it. Vendor coordination, documentation, knowledge management, reporting analysis, proactive maintenance. Qualifications: experience, licensure. Bachelor's degree is preferred, not required. CompTIA A+ certification, 5 years experience with information technology and support. Sometimes you can kind of fudge these numbers. A lot of times they do like to say 5 years. A lot of positions are like 5 years. We need 5 years of this, 5 years of that. You can kind of fudge that sometimes. You can consider one thing extra experience and get your 5 years, quote unquote, 5 years in. But sometimes they don't even require you to do 5 years necessarily. So a lot of these do require background checks, though. So a big thing that I want to mention is if you have criminal problems in your past, sometimes it's okay. Honestly, so I've seen people get security clearances and they've been arrested for things before. So it's not the end of the world, but just keep that in mind. You should be able to pass a background check. Here we have an Imaging Application Administrator 2 in Los Angeles, California for $89,000 to $115,000 a year. One of the things that I want to mention here is if you are, for example, in IT help desk for a hospital or a medical facility or company that has something to do with healthcare, this is going to give you a leg up for a position like this, because there's going to be a lot of standards and a lot of things that you need to know, like HIPAA, for example, just one of the many things that you're going to need to be exposed to for this job to give you a leg up. So let's actually take a look at the rest of it over here. Provide responsive second-level support, both local and remote to end users of applications, dedicated imaging workstations, related servers, in-depth applications. And again, these aren't positions that you're going to be getting right after you get your A+ certification. This is going to be, you do that, you do help desk, you do desktop support, and then you move on to something else. Maybe there's an interim position in between that and this, or maybe you get lucky enough to move directly into something like this if you work in healthcare first and then move on to this, because there are a few things in here that are healthcare regulation involved. So let's see the basic qualifications: 2 years of experience providing comprehensive dedicated support of multi-tiered medical applications, including database, network, client server, user management related activities. Bachelor's degree, Or I was waiting for the or 4 years experience in a directly related field, high school diploma or general education required. So really, as long as you have, I mean, some people don't even, or some companies don't even check. But yeah, it's experience can be king. You don't need to go to school. Experience can be king. CompTIA Network Plus or CompTIA A Plus certification. Windows System Administrator. This is the same company, the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, as we saw earlier, $104,000 to $129,000 a year for this position. What do we have down here in the job description? Windows System Administrator, which a lot of A Plus certifications and Network Plus and Security Plus certifications move on to System Administrator or Network Administrator roles after Help Desk. So keep that in mind as well. It's not necessarily just these positions. Like, look at the System Administrator stuff, and that's probably going to be one of your next steps after the Help Desk and after desktop support. So. We have VMware, a lot of virtualization required in System Administrator. A lot of virtualization, a lot of Linux knowledge over there, especially Red Hat. VMware, Active Directory, that's a big thing. Citrix. What else do we have here? I'm looking for the qualifications we desire: in-depth knowledge and technical expertise with enterprise support tools for management, patching, software distribution, etc., etc. This is all stuff that you're going to be learning in your first roles. Professional computer certification: MCSA, MCSE, CompTIA A+, ASCP, Red Hat, which I mentioned earlier, or professional network certification like CCNA. Here's a really nice one, actually. Data Center Program Manager for the Network Refresh Program at Microsoft, for $99,000 to $195,000 a year. I'm pretty sure anyone would be happy with $195,000 a year. That is quite a substantial amount of money to be walking away with every year, even after taxes, which, you know, that's always the biggest bummer about this. But I'm sure everyone is familiar with Microsoft. This is going to be doing network refreshes for their data centers. It's probably pretty self-explanatory in the title of what it is, but it is a managerial position. This is not going to be, again, all of these are not things you're going to be getting right after you get your A+ certification. It's going to be a few years of doing help desk, desktop support, and then probably another interim, like maybe network engineer after that, and then data center program manager for this could be the next step after that. So, but again, this is not something that's, well, we'll take a look, but I don't think this is going to be something that is going to require you to have a certain degree. So let's see. Service delivery. This is network administration management. So this is not break fix work. This is not an entry level job by any stretch of the imagination, but this is something that you can eventually aspire to from your first steps of some of the certifications that we cover on this channel. So, ownership, qualifications, required qualifications, high school diploma, very challenging. Or, well, some people don't have that, so I really shouldn't say too much, but, or equivalent. Okay, there you go. And 2+ years experience supporting IT and network equipment or related technology. So again, if you have help desk experience, that's your 2 years right there. Or 3+ years experience supporting IT and network equipment or related technology. Then we have ability to meet Microsoft customer and government security screening requirements. So Microsoft background check, citizenship verification, criminal justice information services, and then previous experience with cloud services and platforms, Windows Azure. It's not hard, honestly, Windows Azure. I have a couple things in a couple certifications in Windows Azure, in Microsoft Azure. Office 365, which is very easy. Excel, pivot tables, understanding of layers 1 through 3, networking support. Get your Net Plus, or don't even get your Net Plus, as long as you understand some of the stuff in it. First-hand experience with cables and switches, technical college degree in... So this is preferred, though. Preferred qualifications. Technical college degree in computer science. or related field. And then some of these applicable certifications here. But again, it's preferred, which always helps, especially if you're going for a position that's almost $200,000 a year. Like, you want to give yourself as much of an advantage as you possibly can, because there are going to be other people that have degrees and have some of these certifications that you might not have. But again, you're not going to be doing this right after you leave help desk and you're like, okay, 2 years in help desk, and now I'm going to go and be a data center program manager. You're going to be collecting other things in the meantime, but you don't need a degree for a lot of these. That's one of the beautiful things about the IT industry, is that as long as you are competent and you have work experience, you don't necessarily need a degree, versus something like being a doctor, where it's kind of a different story. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry I haven't been posting so much. I've been sick, and also I've been working at one of these jobs that we've seen, not these specific jobs, but similar job to what we've seen today. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you as always in the next one.